Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's watch list preview. Um, the first thing I want to say is be careful this week. We're probably going to have some light volume. I think Friday the markets are closed, or maybe half day. I'm not sure, but either way, I'm going to think we're going to have lighter volume this week. So we may just see some chop. But that being said, I still come up with a watch list here. Inside weeks, we have TLT and Chewy. Two up with the red close, I have Apple and Walmart, and two down with the green close, I have Peloton. There were a lot of others on here. Off the top of my head, I can't think. I think Pepsi was one. Um, Maybe Costco. I don't remember, but they were up on every time frame except for the weekly. And while it could be a good play for a pullback, I didn't. Number one, I want to have 25 stocks on the watch list. Number two, I hate going against the grain on something that's been so strong all year. And I saw like five or six that had just been going up all year, had phenomenal charts, and just so happened a weekly was, it was a two up with a red close. Not saying it can't pull back. Let's see if maybe Pepsi may have been one. I didn't write them down. Um, it might have been Pepsi. Yeah, the year's real good. Quarter's real good. Uh, Month is pretty good. And then you have the week with a shooter. This could be something good to the downside. And I'm not saying don't trade it. I just don't want to put this on my watch list when every time frame is so strong, except for the weekly, and then the daily here too. It's not looking good, but most charts didn't have a good Friday, so. But something like this you could trade. I'm not putting it on my watch list, but look for a break below the bottom of this shooter here. And in your magnitude, you could go off the weekly and look for a target down here, or you could go like I do, go to the daily if you're more conservative, and look for your first target here, and then second target here, third target here, etc. So, but I saw a lot of those on the watch list or on the scan this week. I left those off. So let's start with TLT. I don't know that I've ever traded TLT, so to be honest with you, I probably won't trade it this time. But we have a setting up for a hammer candle on the year. On the quarter, we have an outside bar on the quarter. Who's following a two up with a shooter. And the outside bar is green, so that's good. On the month, we're kind of setting up a spinning top here on the month. So the month hasn't done a whole lot. And then if you look at the week, inside hammer candle on the week. So let's see if we can break above this 151.31. If we do break above it, let's come down here to the daily and we'll look for some targets. Right here, 152.53, up here at 154.35, up here at 155.12. So that's what I would look for on TLT. And like I said, to be honest with you, I probably won't trade it. I'm not familiar with trading TLT. I don't know that I've ever traded it. And if you're comfortable with it, then see what you can do with it. Chewy. If you look at the year, the year's not looking too good. Pulling back. Quarter's looking pretty weak for the last several quarters. Month is looking pretty weak. I know somebody commented about how distracting that alert is, but I don't. Even when I mute my computer, it still does it. So it still comes up on the recording. So on a month's looking pretty awful. You look at the week. We have an inside week with a green candle, but as weak as everything is, I wouldn't want to play this to the upside. I'm not saying it won't trigger to the upside, but it may just come up to here and then fall back. It has no strength, so for that reason, I'm looking for it to the downside. So looking for a break below 51.43 and come back here. Look for target one here at 50.22. Target 2 is down here at 45.25. I think it was off this candle. 45.25. Target 3 is off of this candle at 44.31. Target 4 is off of this candle here at 36.65. So that's what I'm looking at for Chewy. Now 2 up with the red close. I don't do these often on my scan on my scans or my watch list. What a 2 up with the red close looks like is this. We got a 2 up, so it broke the upside, and then bears came in and shoved it back down. So we're looking for a break below this 2 up, and then our magnitude is going to be the bottom of this candle here. So let's take a look at what we're looking at. We're looking for a break below 169.69, which is the low of this candle last week. And then we come down to the daily, pick up some targets. Target 1 is going to be here at 168.34. Target 2 would actually be a gap fill on the daily chart at 167.88. Target 3 is going to be at the bottom of that candle at 164.28. Target 4 is the bottom of this candle at 159.72. Target 5 is 157.80. Now you can go down, sure, you can put another target here and ultimately a target here. But I just went to here. Will we get that far down? Probably not, but you see how I do it. You can go through and pick further targets if you'd like. After Apple, we have Walmart. Same scenario. Well, let me go back to Apple because I didn't do all of the time frames. Year looks really good. Quarter looks really good. The month we have a spinning top on a month. So remember I said I don't at the beginning of this video I don't like trading stuff that's been really strong and then trying to short it. Apple has been really strong. However, on the month it's kind of a spinning top. But Apple has tight stops, or not tight. Apple has tight spreads, so I don't mind too much stopping out of Apple. If I have to stop out of Apple, I know the spreads aren't going to kill me on it. So I'm willing to trade Apple against the grain if the chart looks good. So the monthly doesn't, monthly is a spinning top, which just means indecision. It doesn't mean it's going to reverse. It doesn't mean it's going to do anything. It just means that the bulls and bears are it's kind of like a tug of war. Bulls and bears, nobody's moving. That's what you can think of when you think of a spinning top or a doji. It went down, it went back up, or it went up and back down, vice versa. Whichever way it worked, I don't know. I could use a smaller time frame to figure that out, but that doesn't really matter right now. What matters is it's a spinning top, which means nobody's really winning the battle right now. So it's kind of an indecision thing. Who's gonna give up and who's gonna fight harder. So if you look at the weekly chart, like I said, it was weak, and then there was my trigger and there's my targets. So Apple, let's take a look at Walmart. So if you look at Walmart on the year is kind of similar. It's an inside candle, but it's a spinning top. On the quarter, we have a 2 down on the quarter, kind of a shooter. So not looking good on the month. Not looking good on the month. Kind of a spinning top on the month. Not very good. We have a shooter on the week. So Walmart's chart just across the board is looking kind of weak. I don't like this chop in here, but it's a big enough of a range. We have 135. We have $15 range to play in here. So I'm looking for a break below this shooter at 138.39, and that's going to be the trigger. And if you look at the daily, come down here, you can pick this up for target 1 for 137.57, Target 2, 135.71. Target 3, 135.29. So that's what I'm looking for Walmart. And so what a 2-up red close is it's a bearish indicator or bearish candle formation. So Piton, I wouldn't say it's strong bearish, but it's on the bearish side. Probably if it's a shooter, then it's going to be obviously be stronger than just a red close. So if we look at the weekly, fix that. Look at the weekly, we have a 2 down, but it's a green close, which means it may be trying to fight its way back up. Peloton's been pretty weak. If you look at the year's been really ugly. You look at the quarter's been pretty, really ugly for a couple of quarters. You look at the month has been pretty, this month here has been pretty kind of, I don't want to call it a doji, but it's been a pretty tight trading session for this month. Last month was horrible. So if you look at the weekly, we're riding the bottom of this broadening formation. If you look at the broadening formation, the bottom of it touches here, almost touches there, almost touches there, and touch there. So are we going to get a bounce off of this? I don't know. Let's see. It's the first green candle we've had on this thing since back here. We haven't had a green candle on Peloton since October 18th week. So are we going to bounce here? I don't know. Let's find out. So looking for a break above 43.03 for the trigger. Come down to the daily, and we're looking at target 1 is here at 46.35. You could call this a target here. Target 2, you could call this. Actually, that is the target, 46.35. You could call this one a target at 45.79. I went to the 46.35. Another target here at 47.75. Another target up here at 54.94. Another target here at 61.70, and then we have a huge gap to fill, and that would be 85.75. So let's see. I like this one because if we can get to that gap, this thing could really move. It probably won't do it all in 1 week, but if you buy maybe January's expirations, you could hold this thing for maybe a week or two, maybe 3 weeks, but I wouldn't hold it longer than 3 weeks being a monthly expiration, because you're going to be getting pretty close to expiration then, and theta is going to start getting you. So, but if we can get into this gap here, we have the potential to really move up. And this may be something to look at for later on down the road if you don't play it this week. So that's what I have here. Again, it's a little bit different than what I normally look at. When I did inside weeks, usually that's all I scan for. I scanned for inside weeks, and I had about 5 tickers on there. And like I said, some of them were like Pepsi, that something that's been strong all year. And the weekly and daily were the only 2 showing any kind of weakness. And with spreads on them, I just didn't really want to go that direction. So I did some scans for 2 up red close, 2 down green close. So remember, this week is probably not going to be the best trading week, so keep your stops tight. We may see some chop. Quad witching expired Friday. For those of you that aren't sure what that means, that's I think what is it? The weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly options expirations all expired on the same day. So now that that's out of the way, I kind of thought we'd see some chop last week, and there was some chop, but there were big moves. I shouldn't even call it chop. I guess, we didn't move in one direction. One day was up, one day was down, but they were big moves. So there was stuff to be played within those big moves. So we'll see what happens this week. Just be careful. I don't expect a lot to go on this week. I'll trade, but I'm going to be more careful, with more selective on what I take, and I'm going to be, have tight stops as usual. Um, Last week, if you watch my video from Friday, I played Dash. It triggered, I think it was Monday, and I bought the weekly expirations, and I made 70% on it. Probably could have made closer to 100% if I would have rode it longer, but I got out at mental support at 150, knowing that there was a target at 149.57. So I got out at just before it hit 150 for 70%. Now on Netflix, it came down and triggered. I'll take a look at it here, just to show you what can happen. And if you watch my video from Friday, you would have seen this. I took my well, let's look at the weekly. I'll be able to see what it was. We're looking for a break below this candle. What happened was 601 was the trigger, but if you look at it on say the 60, what had happened is it came down. 601 was right here, and that was the trigger. It came down and triggered. I got in, and then it pushed back up, and I got out right about here. I got out, I think, before this candle even closed. That's what tight stops will do to you, rather. They'll bounce you out of stuff, but it'll also keep you from having bigger losses. If I had my stop, let's just say, let's just look at this. Let's say here. Let's say I had a loose stop. Say I had a stop way up here, and I got in when this broke here. This is a huge loss. I don't like huge losses. I'd rather stop out here and miss the rest of the trade. But if you were a little bit more conservative and say set your stop at the midpoint of this candle, you may have stayed in this trade, and it triggered at 601, which was right about here. And then look what it did. It went down and hit targets 1, and I think it either hit target 2 or got real close to target 2. But you could have made a killing on this one if you didn't get stopped out here. I prefer to stick to my plan and take the stop out. Like I said, if you're down here, you enter here and your stop's up here, you now have, let's see, the low was 585 and the high was 5. That's a $7 candle. I don't want to ride a $7 loss, because if my stop's way up here, sure, I would have stopped out before it got way up here, but I also gave up $7 of a stop, and that's just too much for me. I'd rather lose 10% and miss a trade than to lose 30, 40, 50% and maybe catch it when it bounces back. Now, you could have also, maybe you didn't get in here. Maybe you waited for a close on a smaller time frame. Let's say maybe you're watching the 30-minute or 15-minute, and you wanted a candle to close below the 601, and that was fine then, because it wouldn't have got you in the trade then. And then when it triggered again, you may have got in. So it's really, not everybody's going to trade the same, and not everybody's going to have the same type of entry. Some people wait for a close before they get in. Some people get in right on the break. I like to get in right on the break. I like to not wait for a close, and I'll keep a tight stop. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll get out, take my loss, and wait for another trigger on something else. The reason I don't like to wait for the candle to close is, let's say you're looking for a 2-2 reversal here, and now your trigger's right here. You're waiting for the candle to close. You're not going to get into way down here, and by then the move might be over, and you missed it. So I prefer to get in here. The worst I'll do, if it's a real small candle, I'll put my stop at the top of that candle, but a lot of times I put my stop right just above the middle of the candle. So let's just say the middle of this candle is 603.50. I might put my stop at like 603.75, maybe 604. And That's if it's a cheaper option. You know, if it's a call that if the call costs $5 and I paid $500 a contract, I'm not going to have my stop way up here. That's just too much money for me to risk. I'm going to have my stop down here tighter. If it's a $1 contract, so I've spent $100 and I only bought one or two contracts, I'll put my stop way up here, and then I'll add when it breaks it again. For me, I don't usually, if I buy a $5 contract, I usually only buy one contract, and I don't usually add to it. I'm too conservative. I don't know if I call it too conservative. I'm very conservative. Sometimes too conservative for my own good, and it bites me. But I'd rather be conservative than to be aggressive and out there, risking too much money. So anyway, kind of a public service announcement, I guess, that made this video longer than it was. Another public service announcement. Keep an eye on your bank accounts. This is the third time this year my accounts have been hit. I got hit back in March, about $500 some over about 6 transactions before I noticed it. I got hit again 2 weeks ago. Same account but different card because I got a new card, obviously. I had Visa purchase alerts set up on that one, so the instant that it charged, I saw it, I called, and I canceled it. I probably should have called the store that it was charged to and maybe been able to gotten the charge stopped there, but I didn't think of it at the time. Luckily, my bank has refunded that money in all these instances. And then just yesterday, kind of ironically, I just got my new card in the mail yesterday for the last one, and then yesterday a different account that we have was hit. My wife she was at work, she texted me and said she got a text alert saying that somebody tried to spend $1,069 at AT&T on her one account, and then she got a text from that bank that saying that it was declined because there wasn't enough money in that account. We don't really use that account much. Typically, we purposely leave that account low, and when we buy something, my wife will usually just transfer enough money into that account to cover whatever we're buying, and she'll go ahead and use that card. So at the time, there was only like $30. She just bought something the day before. She transferred money into that account, bought something online the night before, and there was only like $31 in there. And they tried to run through $1,069 through AT&T. I called AT&T just to see what's going on. They said there was nothing showing on our AT&T account, so, which I didn't think there would be, but just to be sure. So anyway, they canceled that card. Luckily, our next door neighbor works at that bank, and my wife, when she called that bank, that's who she talked to because she handles that fraud stuff. So my next door neighbor just brought the new card home with her, so really no loss. The charge didn't go through. We were without a card for a couple hours, which, like I said, we never use that account hardly ever anyway, so it wasn't a big deal. Yeah, next door neighbor just brought the card home with her and dropped it off the house here. So, but just be vigilant on keeping an eye on your accounts. There's a lot. My mother just got hit a week or so ago. She went to buy something and it was declined, and she didn't think anything of it, went somewhere else and tried to use it again, and it was declined again. She called her bank and they said that there was a charge that tried to go through, and the bank thought it was suspicious, so the bank temporarily restricted her card, and that's why her transactions were declined, and so she had them cancel that card and send her a new one. So it's going on. Just be vigilant, be careful, keep an eye on your accounts. Try to set up the Visa purchase alerts. I set it up on 2 cards. Now my third card, it wouldn't let me set it up on. And these aren't credit cards; these are all debit cards. The third one, it wouldn't let me set it up on. When I punch it in, it wants you to punch in the first 9 digits, and it'll tell you if that card's eligible. And it told me that card was not eligible because that particular bank already offered a similar service, so they couldn't or wouldn't do it. So we're going to call that bank Monday and try to get that activated from through them for that particular card. Now that card we use more often. We don't usually do too many online transactions with that card, but that's the card that, you know, paychecks and whatnot go into. So that card does have more, you know, usually has more money in it. And we do want to be extra careful with that card. So again, we don't have any credit cards. So, you know, people have told me just charge, you know, when you buy something, put it on a credit card and just pay it off. We don't have any credit cards. I don't want any credit cards. I don't believe in credit cards. I have had them in the past, and you know, I was irresponsible and racked up some, you know, pretty big credit card debt. Not huge, some, you know, not like some people. I might have had, I think at the worst, I had like $8,000 charged. But I don't believe in credit cards, and I don't want to use them. I don't want to have any. So, you know, for some people that do have them and are comfortable with it, then yeah, I guess that's an option. Use a credit card and just pay it off. But so anyway, that's my public service announcement. So sorry it made this video so long, but I just kind of thought that was important to get out there. Just to, it's really active right now. So just be careful and keep an eye on your accounts. So I used, for those of you, I'm sure nobody knows, but I used to work in law enforcement. And I used to, I have a lot of family members that are police officers or have been police officers. My grandfather was one. I don't like thieves, and I'm very aware of my surroundings at all times. It's just my mindset. So, you know, anytime I see anything that somebody's, you know, just not doing it, just doing something they shouldn't be doing, it just makes me cringe, and I don't like it. So, just, you know, be careful out there. But anyway, by trade, I'm a system security engineer. So, I don't know if that that kind of leads into the whole thing where, you know, I try to make sure. Before I used to make sure people were safe. Now I make sure computers are safe. So, but anyway, that's my little public service speech for today. So anyway, thanks for watching, and see you guys later. Like I said, be real careful this week. It's probably gonna be a great week, and maybe that's one of the reasons why I enjoy doing these videos. I don't make anything from this. For those, I don't get anything from YouTube. I get no money from YouTube. I don't have enough subscribers or whatever. I don't even know what you need to have. I don't have enough. I don't get anything from YouTube. So I don't do this for the money. I don't have a Discord room where I charge people. I'm in a couple of Discords, but I don't host a Discord. I have no membership thing. Nobody pays me money for anything. And maybe that's why that I don't mind doing it, because of my law enforcement. You know, I just enjoy helping people. And that's why I did the law enforcement. I enjoyed it. I didn't do it for the money. When I did it, I had a full-time job. I had a full-time job where I made, you know, I was making really good money at my full-time job. The money I made from the law enforcement was peanuts compared to that. But I just did it because I loved it. I just liked it. I liked helping people. I liked serving the community. So maybe this is kind of why I do this. Maybe it's still that mentality. I just like helping people. You know, I don't have any intentions of ever making money doing the YouTube or having a Discord. I just don't, it's not something I aspire to do. But I like helping people. So, you know, if this stuff helps you, great. I'm happy. I'm thrilled. And I like, you know, if you put comments in there saying it helps you or you made money on a trade, that just makes me feel better. So yeah, anyway, yeah, sorry to get off track here and make this video so long, but it just, it's that time of year. You just got to be careful, because there's a lot of thievery going on right now. And I understand, you know, some people are down on their luck, and you know, I don't want to say they're doing what they have to do, because they still shouldn't do it, but you know, if they need, you know, their family's starving, they don't have any Christmas presents or something, I get that they're doing what they need to do, but there's better ways to do it. Don't steal from people. Don't break into people's houses or cars or businesses. Um, you know, I have no problem helping somebody out, but I'm not going to help somebody out that's not willing to help themselves or that's willing to hurt others to do it. Um, I guess that's, I don't know. I imagine most people are like that. But anyway, like I said, I'm getting off track. Sorry for that, but just I'm passionate about that. So thanks for watching, and see you guys. I guess I'll probably do a video Friday. I don't know if the market's open Friday or not. If it's not open, I'll probably do a video Thursday evening for the weekly wrap up. Maybe I'll start calling my review sessions the weekly wrap up. Maybe I'll do that. Uh, those videos are usually about 4 to 5 minutes long. Maybe I'll call it a weekly wrap up, and I'll cover my watch list and just go over what happened throughout the week in general. That's a good idea. So maybe if the markets are closed completely Friday, I'll probably do the video Thursday. If the markets are open Friday, I'll probably wait till the markets close and do a video. We're having a party here Friday night at our house, so it'll be early if I do, because I have stuff to do here. I'll try to get a video out for the following week for the watch list for the week between Christmas and New Year's. Try to get a video out. Just one more public service announcement. I think everybody probably has a weekly goal they want to meet when they're trading. I made money this week, but I did not hit my weekly goal, and I'm okay with that. You don't want to feel like you failed if you didn't hit your weekly goal. I was actually green every day but Thursday. I made money every day but Thursday. And Thursday, I think I lost $25, I think, Thursday. I was down at one point. I was down close to 100 Thursday. And I did some quick scalps and fought my way back and ended up only down like $25 at the end of the day. I'm not a big, I'm not $1,000 a day trader. I'm not a $500 a day trader. I'm not looking to get rich doing this. I'm looking to be consistent. Maybe at some point I will be, looking to make 500, 1,000 a day. That's not where I'm at right now. So, for me to be down 100, it's not the end of the world, but it's, I don't like being down $100. But at the end of the day, I ended up coming back, being down like 25, and then I was green Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. But with that being said, I still didn't reach my weekly goal. But I'm not going to cry about it. I was green for the week. I'm happy with the consistency I had. There was really only 2 trades that got me on Friday or Thursday. If it wouldn't have been for and to be honest, they weren't trades I took. They weren't trades I picked. They were trades that were alerted through one of the Discord channels I was in. I got in, I set my target, I set my stop, and I stopped out of both of them. Not saying that I would have done any better. I'm just saying that they weren't ones that I picked. So it's not like I can look back and say, well, I screwed that up. It wasn't my pick. The ones I picked. Yeah, I had some stop outs too, but I had some winners too. But like I said, I'm not upset that I didn't hit my weekly goal. I was still green. I had 4 out of 5 days green on a week that wasn't great. Like I said, it was choppy in the sense that one day was up, one day was down, but those ups and downs were really big. So you had a lot of range that you could play with. And never try to catch tops or bottoms. Do not try to catch tops or bottoms. You will lose in the long run. I can promise you that. Just try to get a piece of the middle. That's all you want. Find a piece of the middle and catch it. If you try to catch tops and bottoms, you may get lucky once in a while. Every 5 years, you might do it once or twice. If you try to do it, you're going to lose money. I can promise you. So just try to get a piece of the middle. So, you're not going to catch right here. You're not going to buy right here and sell right here. You might do it once in a while if you're lucky. But look for this. Look for this little piece here to here. Or maybe here to here. Don't worry about this little bit here and this little bit here. So in the end, you're going to lose more money trying to catch this little piece up here and this little piece down here than you will if you just worry about this middle. I promise you that. I've been doing this long enough. I used to try to do it. You will lose money almost every single time if you try to catch the top and bottom. So, all right. Sorry, this rambled on long enough. I'm going to go. Thanks for watching and see you guys later. Bye.